I'm just going to do a little bit of narration here. Let's see. The Filipino flagpole raiser farted on 55 dogs. The Ethiopian international... okay, let's see. I need some good alliteration here. Let's see. The Transylvanian transvestite triumphed in the triathlon. That one's not so bad.
Well, fucking welcome back, boys and girls. If there's any girl that chooses to listen to this fucking podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we took a little bit of a hiatus, jerked off, got stoned.
I think this is how it's going to be. It's probably just going to be out when it's out.
Yeah,
no, breaks are our favorite thing. And we're actually coming up on the 1 year anniversary, dude. We're only a couple weeks out, which is very exciting.
Oh shit, we should fucking burn our house down.
Yeah, the 1 year burn the shed down event, dude. It's going to be fucking wild, you know?
Yeah, we are coming up. I think it was around like the 16th, something like that. We did our first one.
Well, yeah, because I want to say we put out the first episode the first couple days of January. I could be wrong. So in my mind, I thought we filmed it between Christmas and New Year's.
Really?
I could be wrong, but that is what my memory is.
That feels right.
Because I think we got together. We had this 3-man team right here around this time, and that's when we came up with that we were gonna do it, and we were like, let's commit to it.
What a fun conversation that was.
It was such a good conversation. Do you want to know what is cool? Everyone's different concentration face.
Oh, perfect. Dude. That's
money.
True as fuck, dude. That's true.
Everybody
my
has
concentration face probably looks fucking ridiculous.
Oh, dude, I know that, dude. I'm sure my bottom jaw pops out and I get a little bit, 1,000-yard stare-ish, you know?
I'm a big hands on my face kind of guy when I'm thinking.
Yeah.
And I look up in the sky.
Well, of course. But yeah, but I'm talking even just like when you're in your when you're flow state a little bit, you know?
Right.
Yeah, if you're working on something like not necessarily just like daydreaming, but like
that's hilarious.
Like focused in, like if working with your hands.
Damn, I wish we had video.
One thing that's funny, dude.
Because I'm so fucking good looking. I know. Everyone misses when they can't see my face, regardless of location.
Yeah, we just get a bunch of hate comments when we post this. Just like, where the fuck is the video?
No, so I was trying to make a beat, and as I was doing it, I was like, oh, I should live stream this while I'm doing it.
Oh,
yeah.
And I was like, I've never tried doing it, so let's try doing it. And that's when I figured out I could download the OBS camera on my phone.
Yeah. Like T-Pain, T-Pain has wildly popular streams where he makes music and messes around.
Really?
Oh, hell yeah. Here we go. No, that is fire. What song is that?
Let me grab the album.
Oh,
my. Sounded like Marvin Gaye.
Jesus Christ.
What'd you get allowed?
Dude, can you not catch a whiff of that right now?
Oh, a stink?
How clogged are you, man? Oh my God.
Easy, bro.
Hey, that's all right. There we go. That little bit of breeze helps.
It's well known that dog farts are the
McFadden and Whitehead.
Ones. Really? Wow, look at that. That is an album cover. Holy cow.
Jazzy homies, dude.
Yeah, just in some crispy white suits. What year is this? This has got to be, 70-something?
79.
They look like they're kissing each other.
I mean, they look like they get groovy, dude.
Yeah.
That's very fun. I like that a lot.
They like to taste each other's jazz.
Maybe. I think it's, the jazz man gets a lot of ladies, though. I mean, we've all seen La La Land.
I haven't.
You've never seen La La Land?
No. Is it old?
No, that's like 2016 maybe, I think. Or maybe even more recent. But it's Ryan Gosling, Emma Stone. I mean, it's just like Ryan Gosling loves jazz. He hits her with the B movie. Jazz?
I'm not well versed in modern movies for the most part, but fucking
that's my specialty.
I was gonna say, well, I've actually been watching a lot of like the classics recently. I mean, I say classics, but they're classics for the modern movies. I rewatched the Matrix trilogy just the other day.
Dude.
Holy
Where
cow.
did you stream it from? I've been trying to show that to my girlfriend.
It's on Hulu right now if you pounce. I don't know how long it's going to stay, but it's on there right now.
Okay.
And dude, you rewatch it, you're like, no, this movie slaps.
Oh, it's so fucking good,
like,
dude.
because I hadn't seen it in years,
What's funny, dude, is the amount of people I've turned on to it. I've been like, you haven't seen the fucking Matrix? Go watch that shit. And then next week they're like, bro, holy fuck.
Yeah.
That put my brain in a blender, man.
I've always heard that the second and the third aren't the best. So
no, number one is fucking.
But I've seen the new one. So like the
Oh,
fourth
you saw the
one?
fourth one
Have
without
you seen
seeing
it?
No, but it wasn't on Hulu yet, so.
Right. So I've seen the first one and then the fourth one.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
I'm trying to
Yeah.
think if I have seen the fourth one.
Because that just came out last
feel like-
year.
yeah, I saw it in
2022, I
theaters.
think.
Or 21.
I saw it in
Maybe.
theaters.
It's like the same thing,
I'm sure that it. Of
It's-
course it is,
but it's good.
but it's new.
Yeah.
No, I get that. No, but I'm saying like as a trilogy, there's a lot of things. Of course, yes, the argument stands strong that 2 and 3 are not as strong. But what I have to say, like just the kung fu-ness of it and
Oh,
everything,
dude,
and
the
the way
action
it's all
scenes.
handled. Oh my god, dude! The thing that brings 2 down, truthfully, is the courtyard scene, where it's the PS2 graphics where they're in the courtyard and Neo fights the 100 Agent Smiths, and it's like. The thing that blew my mind about it is how long it goes on for, because it's like it looks really bad, and like everyone like remembers that that's the thing. They're like, yeah, that scene was really bad. But what makes it the worst is that it just goes on forever, and they try to sneak in slow-mo shots of like the CGI. Oh my god! Don't slow down when it
Well,
looks like
that's
that.
surprising
Keep the
to me
pace
because
going.
I last remember the first one, and the CGI didn't seem that bad.
It's because they're quicker about it. They don't really linger on it. Like it is bad,
and sort of
but they're
slow-mo,
better
the
about hiding it.
horrible CGI. That's a fucking terrible idea.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I was gonna say. Did you guys hear the fucking the people who made it? Like, did you ever hear
the
about that?
Wachowski siblings?
Yeah, did you hear their
Yeah.
take on it? They're like, the Matrix is actually about being transgender. You hear that?
Well, I mean, yes, I know that the Wachowski siblings transitioned to the Wachowski sisters now, but
But they said that the Matrix is literally about that.
it's about
how
it's about
fucking
a
bananas
million
is that?
things. But yeah, for sure, it's just
Yeah.
about constructs.
Unbelievable. The fucking when I saw that, I was like, of course, of course, it's about being
Well,
transgender.
Damn,
dude.
that's crazy.
You
Because
take the red pill and fucking cut your dick off, bro.
Yeah, for fun.
It's got me weak.
just tapping into universal truths, that's
Oh,
true for
yeah.
everyone. You know what I'm saying?
Well, but the thing that I thought was the coolest about it, because obviously, yeah, it's the Matrix, right? Everybody, it's so in the zeitgeist. It's so much a part of everything. But the thing that I thought was really interesting was the relationship between the people and the technology, where it's like, you know, they're doing the deep dives, right? So they're physically in a location, but then their brain is leaving their body, right? Because that's like how it's presented, where it's
Yeah.
like, you
Have
know,
you seen Stavros's latest comedy special?
I did.
Where he
Fat
talks
Rascal,
about
dude? No, not
he
yet.
talks about Neuralink, dude.
Yeah, exactly.
And he was, I'm gonna ruin the joke for you, but he goes, "I hate it. Your childhood memories are now gonna be behind a paywall."
Yeah. No, exactly.
Yeah.
And you know, all of that is true. But what was interesting is because like when you know, Trinity dies or whatever, and he like reaches in the game, right, in the Matrix, he reaches like through her and like manually pumps the heart. Just like it's like corny as hell and all of that, but just like the concept of that, where it's like her physical body just died, but because she's interconnected and the whole they really stress
Yeah.
like that what happens in the Matrix, like the reason you die is because your body makes it real, right? Your mind makes it real, you know? So and that's like the reverse, but where in there he's like pumping the heart, and so the game's like, well, the heart's pumping, so the mind like makes it real. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And so she like comes back to life.
That's a dope
It's-
idea for
so it's-
fucking sure.
Yeah, so it just I was like, oh damn, like that's an interesting connection where, you know, the things that, because it's like the real world and then the Matrix, right? The Matrix isn't real, but it does kind of draw that circular parallel where it's like, well, at the same time, the Matrix is real as far as things that are happening there can translate back and forth between the real world, you know, just reinforcing the whole concept of the movie. But it was just like, I was like, wow, that is pretty cool how they showed it, you know?
Very profound.
Yeah, I thought it was interesting.
Fascinating fucking movie, dude, honestly. And just the idea of it, too, is just like you're living in a false reality. Wake up, take the blue pill or the red pill. Is just like that idea of, it's like, do you want to be a conspiracy theorist? Or would you rather go to work every day and think you're doing the right thing?
No, for sure. And I think that, I mean, obviously it's one of those things where it's taken to the extreme to explain a concept that everybody understands innately, you know? Like, part of being a human being is recognizing that, yeah, this is all kind of bullshit, but we all agree on it, so it works. You know? It's the whole thing. You take it back to money, you take it back to laws, you take it back to anything.
Society.
Yeah, it's like our world is dictated by thoughts just as much, if not more, at this point, obviously, than cold hard reality, like physics. You
The
know,
Freemasons believe that the entire entirety of physical reality all begins in the mind. So like the mental plane is the like foundation of reality.
Have you seen
Right.
Killers of the Flower Moon?
I hear it's
Oh.
Not
really
well
cool.
versed in modern
fuck.
movies.
Well, so Freemasons are in it. And
Like
now-
they talk about Freemasonry specifically.
Oh yeah, this guy
Whoa.
gets taken to a Freemason room and punished.
He just spilled shit on himself. What point is, that's pretty sick. So you see
wish
like
this was a mental
a Masonic lodge or whatever. Are they wearing like the robes?
No,
the
it's just
aprons?
three
the
of them.
aprons. Yeah.
No,
Oh, okay.
they're
Still
like dressed
cool.
up in like suits.
Right,
You know
ready
what
to
I'm
kick
saying?
some ass. Robert De Niro's there, I'm sure.
The leader,
Oh my god. Yeah.
Does it make them out to be bad guys or what?
for sure.
Who the fuck produced this movie then?
Martin Scorsese.
Yeah, the Scorsese dude.
And Martin Scorsese
Hmm.
is my favorite director. I think he's the best director over
'Cause of his
Christopher
TikToks?
Nolan. No, because of his body of work. Like,
He does have a pretty good body, doesn't he? For an
yeah,
old man.
Casino, Godfather. I'm sure there's others.
Still haven't seen either.
I'm sure
of
there
those.
are others. Yeah.
I think he's my favorite because of his storytelling. It's Christopher Nolan. He depicts reality through fantasy, right?
Right.
He taps into universal truths and tells the story through like going to space or through Batman.
Yeah,
or-
he likes time. He likes
Right.
time a lot. That's one of his favorite things.
And Martin Scorsese likes to tap into the corruption of humanity through his stories of storytelling, but
Right. Vices.
but the stories are usually based in some sort of reality that everyone's like, oh, in some part of the world that's happening.
Right. Yeah, they're a lot more closer to home.
100%.
Yeah.
Which they both tap into the same universal truth, but how they do it is both brilliant and it's in their bodies of work. But I think
I agree.
Scorsese's my favorite.
No, I think that's
And-
a
and I-
totally fair opinion.
And
yeah.
I came to that opinion while watching Killers of the Flower Moon.
How
I
long? How
do
old
wanna
is this
see it.
movie?
This is just a
A
couple
month
months
old.
ago. Yeah.
Oh,
it's
brand
this,
new?
This
1
was
month
this
old.
summer.
It's 3.5 hours long.
Is it
Yeah.
in the theaters?
I just barely bought it on Apple TV because
Oh,
it
word.
came out on it, and I was like, if
I'll go see it.
I was like, if my family's gonna go watch it, it's $25. It's the same as going to the movies, but
Yeah.
I own it now.
True. I do that. I've bought plenty of movies on
and
Amazon.
That's a really nice thing too, is to spend $25 and be like, "Oh, this is a good move. I'm glad I fucking spent
One
that
hundred
money on
percent.
this."
But I've bought a movie though, and I've been like,
Fuck. Yeah.
Unbearable Massive Weight of Talent by Nicolas Cage. I bought that.
I want to see that.
So
wanna
I
see
own
that.
it. We can watch
Hell
it.
yeah,
It's
dude.
terrible.
No, I believe it,
Dude,
but
me-
in a fun way.
Me and my girlfriend have been absolutely devouring Nicolas Cage movies lately, dude.
Hell yeah.
It's so fucking fun. Dude, Bad Detective, must see, dude. Must
I haven't
see.
heard of it.
It's fucking Nick Cage as a detective, and he gets hooked on fucking crack.
Jeez.
It's so fucking funny, man.
Nicolas Cage is a
Is dead.
No, Nick Cage is sick. But
He fucking rules, bro. Like,
Yeah.
because there's the meme, obviously, of him just like taking any role he possibly can get, and I fucking love that about him, dude. Because he's just, and he's always Nick Cage. Like, like Bad Detective is so fucking bad of a movie because it's just so Nick Cage the whole time, and he's trying to act like a serious fucking detective. But he's addicted to crack. Like, just the entire idea, even of the fucking movie, is fantastic.
yeah, I'll say that's where his strength lies, is in picking movies that have a really good premise.
Yeah,
Where
yeah,
it's
yeah,
like,
yeah.
where it's like, what the hell is this movie about? And he's like, well,
Fucking
I'm a detective, but I'm really addicted to crack. It's like, what? Or he's like, like I'm a treasure hunter, and there's a map on the Declaration.
Bro,
It's
yeah,
like,
yeah. The first, and honestly, how fucking big was that movie when it first came out?
oh, huge. I remember being, whatever, young, and dude, that
Everybody
movie
was talking
ripped.
about it. Yeah, dude.
That movie ripped.
I feel like everybody's seen it too. What was it called? Fucking
National Treasure.
National
Well,
Treasure,
it's because
yeah.
it was put out by Disney, I think, put it out. So obviously it was in that family-friendly
Yeah.
genre, and at the perfect time where, Night at the Museum, all of these like kid but in between movies were popping off.
I want to fucking see who directed or who like produces all of his movies, because he goes to different producers and shit.
Yeah.
But it's just, I don't know. It's fucking funny, man.
No, that's totally fair. No, but I was gonna say, before we move on from movies, I do want to talk about. I saw Napoleon, and honestly,
dude, everybody's been fucking talking about that, dude.
Did you see it?
Oh yeah, I fell asleep twice.
Really?
On
in the theater?
Thanksgiving, yeah.
That's crazy.
Me and my dad went and watched it once everyone left at like 6.
Yeah.
And I fell asleep twice.
That's crazy.
You had turkey in your belly, dude. Everybody falls asleep.
Exactly. See, we went the day after. We went on that Friday morning, and dude, I was invested, dude. I thought it was a good time.
That's nice.
And I know that people have like come out and they're like, "Oh, it's not like super historically accurate." Go fuck yourself, dude.
Right.
Like,
yeah, what is this supposed to be a documentary? Like,
yeah, exactly.
How many of those fucking exist already?
Exactly, because like all of the arguments where it's like they tried to cover too much time, it's bloated. All of that's fair. But what I enjoyed about it was like the story of like how a nation can come and go, and how one man, like can thread through a lot of it. Because obviously it's like, even in the movie, Napoleon is not. It's not like he's God. You know what I'm saying? Like, he is obviously conveyed as like a very influential, really trusted, all these things. But ultimately, like, it's the story of how power can become shaky, and how it can be grabbed by different people, and then how they can in turn lose it through different actions. That's what I thought was really cool about it.
Right. That's dope.
Yeah.
Back to your point about the historically accurate shit. The one movie that really fucking pissed me off that it wasn't historically accurate would have to have been Abraham Lincoln Vampire Killer, dude. Just like, I hear that title, I'm like, well, show me what really happened.
Right.
You know? And fucking.
I really liked.
In Napoleon.
Mm-hmm.
Was it one of the characters?
Sex scene.
Josephine, perhaps.
No, it was when he was done. Instead of like imprisoning him or doing anything,
right?
They banished him to a fucking pretty nice island.
Well, yeah, and then he came back, didn't he?
And he did. And that's what's your bigger point with that? Because it might connect to what I want to say too.
It's nowadays, like, if someone's in power and they do a lot of bad things,
prison,
they're gonna be okay. They're never gonna go to like a federal prison or like.
Of course.
They'll go, oh, okay, just be quiet, do your own thing, and you can live out the rest of your life. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, sure. I think that the biggest thing with Napoleon is just because of they couldn't fully turn on him because the people were largely still with him. That's why he was able to come back.
And like, there's a bunch of historical precedents of like just how bad it looks to kill the guy.
Exactly.
That. I don't know. It goes
right
against their quote unquote morals back in the day, and it would make them look weaker.
Because because this was right after the French Revolution. So this is right after they had just finished lobbing off the heads in the streets. That's how the movie opens. It opens with a guillotine. You know what I'm saying? Because this is immediately following that.
That's dope.
So it's like part of it was that they had just gone through all that, and then that's how Napoleon was able to come up. Is because it's like the country was like
turmoil
in a really transitional phase. And this is, just globally, this is part of like, the re-enlightenment. So it's like it's going crazy out there, This is around the same time as the American Revolution. This is the late 1700s. This is shortly post that. I think the movie opens up in like 1780. You know what I'm saying? Like 1780s, which is, immediately post Revolutionary War.
Yeah.
So it's transitional time for the globe.
How fucking cool would it be if you could just like astral project and go back in time and watch shit as it actually happened?
Yeah,
I
mean, absolutely.
Awesome. Could you fucking imagine? We wouldn't have to watch movies anymore. We could just fucking, just like, oh yeah, dude.
Isn't that kind of like what a movie is, though?
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's somebody's recreation of it. It's in somebody's brain. It's back to the mental plane shit we were talking about. It's like it could be completely different, but everybody agrees like, oh, that's probably how it went. But
if the essence is the same, then.
Yeah, but I mean, a story, just like it would just even going anywhere in history and just spending probably an hour watching people walk around and see what they were actually doing would be fucking fascinating to me.
Oh,
Dude.
yeah, that is the dream.
For sure. I actually think that's why movies are so popular, though.
Well, I
You
think
know
a
what I'm
movie's
saying?
cut together better, you know?
For sure.
Yeah,
it's
it'll
probably way more
condense it a little for
entertaining.
you.
Like,
Yeah.
ultimately, if
you're
you're
just watching peasants taking shits and fucking
Yeah.
spreading cow manure on a field.
Yeah, you know what I mean? It's like it's not quite as action packed on a day-to-day basis. Obviously, if you're at a battle or something like that, oh man,
Yeah.
fascinating. That'll hold your attention for hours and hours.
Dude, even watching somebody like the quote unquote ritual somebody would do when they walk in their house, like, do they immediately light a candle? Fucking, how do they sweep their fucking floor? Just that kind of shit blows my mind to think people live so fucking similarly but differently.
If you could go back in time to any one moment and see any one, let's say like event happen.
Crucifixion for sure. Easily.
That's pretty good.
Pretty high up there.
That's pretty good.
But that's the thing too, is to be able to, like, if you could go back and see it and like somehow prove that you're like, oh fuck, that for sure happened.
I think
like that would.
I'd like
blow
to see
minds,
the
dude.
pyramids being built.
That would be yeah. I feel that.
That'd be nuts.
That'd be nice, dude. Or go fucking kick it with Buddha. You know, like sit under the fig tree.
Might
with
be a
him,
little
dude.
boring.
Yeah.
He might just want to chill out for a while, you know?
Like, shut up, dude.
Yeah.
He's like, could you please? He's actually an asshole. He's like, get the fuck away from my space, bro.
Yeah. He's like, I came to
You're
this
in
tree
my
alone.
bubble, dog.
Yeah.
How'd you know I was gonna be here? I walked all the way out here.
Yeah, I'm nobody. That'd be the ultimate answer, you know?
Buddha being an asshole is such a funny idea.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing that's crazy is some of those like
Got me.
instructors, you know, some of those people that pursue that path, they are kind of like brutal to the young students.
Oh yeah, dude.
You know what I'm saying?
I went to a Buddhist therapist for a little while, like a couple of years ago, and he would just be like, "Oh yeah, that happened to you.
Mm-hmm.
What else?
Release your
You
burden.
know? And you're just like, fuck, dude, like no empathy whatsoever.
No
from it.
sympathy.
Sympathy.
No sympathy. Yeah, where it's just
for sure.
like, where it's like, dude, release your burden. Why are you carrying that around then?
Yeah.
Put it down.
But it also seems like no
You know?
empathy because you're just.
Oh, they're just like,
he's just like,
it's no nonsense. That's the thing.
Yeah,
There's,
he's just like,
there's
well,
no coddling.
he's like, what do you mean to tell me you're suffering in this realm of suffering?
Exactly.
I just felt so retarded ever telling him a fucking problem in my life because he was just like, yeah.
He sounds pretty good to me.
You do have that problem. Oh, it helped a lot, dude. He was the man. I love Dave, dude. Dave Black, dude. I don't know if I have to censor his name, but
that's the guy who told me.
he's the fucking man, dude.
I should go talk.
He's literally the man. But yeah, dude. Any of these fucking thousands of year old religions are pretty fascinating. Like the amount of time and the amount of ideas that people come up with being so stuck into a particular belief system. I don't really know exactly where I was going with that, but it's
reminds
it's fascinating, dude.
Because I've been listening to a lot of Gnostic texts.
Oh yeah,
You know what
yeah.
I'm saying?
That's fun.
And so what a Gnostic text is it's a text before. Fuck.
I don't know the exact
Gnostic
definition,
Gospels, or those were
Those
very
Gnostic
early
texts
Christianity.
and they were.
Yeah, weren't they the ones not admitted by the Nicene Creed? Anything not accepted by the Nicene Creed
Yeah, the
became the
council,
Gnostic
yeah.
tests.
Yeah, and so they found a bunch of them in Egypt in 1945.
The Dead Sea Scrolls.
Yes, and others.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Are they all called the Dead Sea Scrolls?
Pretty much, because that's the first time they've ever had.
Really?
What it was
So
it was originally a like a word of mouth just movement in that.
Right.
I wouldn't call it a church, but just like a religious movement. And they were just like,
Well, and paper was expensive and hard to come by in
Well,
some
and
ways.
you had to
it was
fucking
mostly like
write
the
it
Torah.
out too. If
Yeah.
you want to copy, you got to sit there and fucking just copy that.
So-
shit. But what else did they have to do, really?
Well,
You
that's
know?
the thing, ultimately,
they're
yeah,
probably
they were-
making fucking shitloads of copies.
Oh, she
but
was good, dude.
It was probably
And so
expensive as shit to get
all of
anything
those
like that.
texts that they found in 1945 were written in Sahidic Coptic. Paul Coachella, who I was listening to, who wrote manuscript found in Accra, was found in 1945 with all those Dead Sea Scrolls, and he said he translated it himself.
Is that the same as the
Alchemist?
the Herculaneum scroll?
No, I don't think so.
I think so.
I've read all the Dead Sea Scrolls, but I've never
Well,
seen that.
well, the Herculaneum, it was it was one that was really fucked up. You know what I'm saying? So it's like they couldn't unroll it, and they finally have just like figured out how to like X-ray through it and then like use AI to restructure and like unfold it, which is so sick. So
Right.
they're finally able to start
Is
translating
this in
it.
like Greece? Because
I think
Herculean, that
it
sounds
was-
like those, because Hercules, that's
Right.
one of the old Olympus gods. He was half god or whatever. The fuck.
No, exactly. So it's I mean it's in that part of the world. Know,
Right.
in maybe it was in Turkey or something. But
So
That's
I
pretty
listened to
I like anything
manuscript
that's old.
found in
Mhm.
Accra, the Gospel of Mary Magdalene, and now I'm on Pistis of Sophia.
wow.
That one's crazy. Dude, these things
And-
will throw your brain in a fucking
No, they
blender,
really
dude.
are. Manuscript found in Accra is it was written 1,000 years after the crucifixion, and it's a town in Jerusalem who's about to get sacked. And the cop there says, hey, some people write down what we're talking about, some people share it word of mouth. We're all going to die, but what we're going to talk about is our way of life, our values, what we believe in, and how we live. And that's the
And
only thing
save
that's
it.
going to live on after this. And they all got slaughtered,
But the
but-
writing stayed.
but the writing stayed.
That's
Wow.
legendary, bro. That's a crazy move.
Right.
Instead of like hopping on the machine gun to be like, you guys go on ahead, I'll hold them off. Just like, all right, let's fucking write. Fucking. They must have really had a lot of faith in their way of life to do that. Just be like,
100%.
this has to continue. For that to be your number one priority, just like we need to fucking write down what we're doing.
Right.
That's
Yeah.
pretty crazy.
And then in the Gospel of Mary Magdalene, that's where I heard the different translations. Because the person who's reading the audiobook, he translates her script to Latin and it to Greek. And to the different languages, you
Different
get
meanings.
you get a different meaning. And so
True.
it was very like in depth, right? And basically, so far, all I'm hearing is like Eastern philosophies in these texts. It's like it's finding inner peace and your own belief, not like your own belief, but finding the
Sort of. It's about worshiping God through direct experience rather
Exactly.
than just like following a book or something like that. It's
Yeah.
about like meditating and like having God show Himself to you
exactly.
and
Yeah.
witnessing it.
And that's what they say Yahweh taught Yosef. How do you pronounce it?
What?
Not Joseph. How do you say?
Yeshua?
Jesus is
Yeshua?
Yeshua. Yeah.
That's pretty much what he taught from these scripts, right?
Yeah.
Dude, the Gnostic Gospels fucking rip, dude. I have a physical copy. I'm gonna get to you.
That'd be fire because I'd like to read along while I'm listening.
Yeah, they might
just
be a little
gets
different
burdened in more.
translations type
Yeah.
shit, but
yeah.
I used to have Bible study Sundays. I'd have the homies come over, and I would just sit there and I'd fucking read one of the books, and then I'd go to the next book, and literally every single person in the room was just electrified. Like, this is the craziest shit. Not like crazy, but like this is mind blowing to hear some of this
Well,
shit.
with everything that's gone on this year, it's been like exactly what I've needed to listen to. I've just been doing
Dude.
these puzzles and listening. Sorry,
That rules.
Yeah.
and listening to these audiobooks and hearing. Well, the crazy fucking thing is with manuscript found in Accra. It was written 1,000 years ago, and this town's getting slaughtered.
Right.
But what they're talking about, their values, and like they talk about defeat. How do you go through defeat? How do you deal with pain? How do you deal with ego? How do you deal with this and that?
Yeah.
And the cop says, well, boom, here's what I have to say about that. And it's exactly what I need to hear in 2023. You know what I'm
Beautiful,
saying?
dude.
This guy who, and even if it is a fictional story, because the guy who wrote Manuscript in Accra, who said at the beginning he translated it himself, also wrote The Alchemist.
Oh,
Oh,
wow.
no way, dude.
Yeah.
I still haven't read The Alchemist.
And The Alchemist
Sadly.
is my favorite book.
I've heard so many people say that.
Well, The Alchemist is. I didn't think that book was that old.
It's not. It was
This guy probably
translated
did
in like
this-
90 something. Like
Is when this.
late 90s.
Oh, okay. So that's when this guy translated that, and then he
Yes.
also wrote The
It was
Alchemist.
probably an inspiration for
Okay.
him. Like, big time.
Yeah,
Fair enough.
That kind of shit.
100%.
Like, dude,
Yeah.
the Gnostic shit is crazy. Have you ever looked into any of the Gnostic Gospels?
I mean, not specifically. I mean, as far as like the Dead Sea Scrolls go and all that, I understand that their historical context from around that same time period. So it's like I think that they're very interesting in the fact that I've always been a bit of a who doesn't love history? You know, I've always been a history guy because it's like the whole you never know where you're going if you don't know where you've been. I've always been like a subscriber to that.
That's a crazy idea I just had, is that all of history for people like long ago is just mysticism. Like it's all just crazy stories about gods and fucking battles and whatever the fuck.
Well, in the manuscript found in Accra, it's this girl, and he talks about this girl who was the one who was scribing everything down, and her friend who was Jewish didn't agree on what year it was. One person was like, it's 1099, and he was like, no, it's 497. But they still could find terms on.
Huh.
They could come to agreement on life, but they didn't agree what year it was.
Well, they agree on the message, but not the specifics, I guess.
Exactly.
That's pretty fascinating.
And that's why I've been really getting into the Gnostic texts. For one, it's been what I've been needing to hear. But for two, I've always been interested in like the Bible. But I've always had like a innate thing against religion and the King James version of the Bible, right?
Yeah.
Allegedly, according to what these people say, the Gnostic texts were written 3 centuries, 4 centuries, 5 decades after the crucifixion. So 30 BC, 40 BC,
right after.
60 BC, right after, instead of 300 years.
And pretty regional
Yeah.
as well.
Right.
Yeah, in that fucking right next door.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
that's pretty cool.
It's very interesting.
That's what definitely got me back into just the idea of God in general. I feel like because I grew up going to church in the Lutheran church, but as a kid, you fucking hate it. You know, you're just like, I have to sit still and be quiet for an hour? Like, fuck this.
Yeah.
And then you take it all for granted, but then later in life, especially the Gnostic Gospels in particular, because I was looking so much into Eastern religions and just like I don't know, I guess like the idea of like manifestation, just like I'm just looking for some explanation that wasn't given to me by my government or my teachers. And the Gnostic Gospels blew my brain wide open, dude. It's fascinating shit.
The parallels between the Eastern religion, like Hinduism, and the Gnostic texts, to me, is the biggest like epiphany. It's like, yo, find your inner peace, meditate.
It shows how much
hard work, dedicate, respect the people around you in your life, respect yourself, respect life itself, and good things will happen.
It shows how close the relationship is between Eastern religions and something like Christianity. When you hear Jesus saying, basically, karma is real. You know, like be fucking nice to every single person that you can be nice to at any time that you possibly can.
Yeah.
And you will benefit from it.
But I've been finding a lot of creativity from those as well. You know what I'm saying?
Fuck yeah.
But every time I've tried in the past few years, you guys know when I've gone to like make a beat or do something, either my computer will go down. A lot of the time,
I know
there's some flow.
I know.
Majority of the time, there's a hindrance because of some fucking thing in
technical
life.
bullshit. Yeah.
A little bit of dukkha, you know, as the Buddhists call it.
Yeah.
Suffering.
Exactly. I feel like I'm in a state where I'm like, yeah, I've accepted my suffering and I'm okay with it. You know, life hurts. It's been a tough year, but it's like I'm doing my best to keep going and be positive and still be who I was before all this.
Right.
But you need to grow too at the same time.
Well, growth is inevitable.
Right.
The past few days when I've gone to create, it's been seamless. It's like everything has
flows
exactly when I've needed it to, and I've been able to get the ideas from my mind into
what you're picturing. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Beautiful, dude.
There you go. Your mind's making it real. The body makes it real. You know.
Well,
the body makes it real. That really is the whole. You know.
The spiritual realm. I heard in one of these books. I don't know exactly which one, but it describes it as in between the imagination and the rational mind, and it was very deep, because I was like, that's where I feel like everyone's trying to be. You're trying to be in between your rational mind and your imagination. You know what I'm saying? That's like where the flow state is. You know what I'm saying? And if you could be there, not think too much, act, but trust your actions when you're doing them.
Yeah, not every second guess yourself, just fucking fully invested in what you're doing.
100%.
Because everybody has withholdings, like, for anything you're doing. You're always doubting in some little way, like, oh, what if this goes wrong? What if this goes wrong? But literally, if you try to do anything in life and you fully believe in doing it, and you fully believe that you're gonna do it well, it fucking works, bro. Like, it just happens. It literally just fucking happens.
It's true. I mean, and personally, I've always felt that a big part of that is because it is because of your actions, but it's also because of people's natural response to that type of behavior and that type of confidence, if that makes sense. So it's like what what you're saying, you know, like anything you pursue and you pursue wholeheartedly, the universe lines up opportunities,
whether
right?
It's realistic or real or metaphysical, it doesn't matter. It still fucking works like that.
Right.
It's fucking fascinating, man. But sorry, you go.
No, absolutely. I was just on top of this point because people if they need a service, like let's say for example, so it's like your dream is to provide a specific service, right? And you want to be the best at it, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so it's like people that are looking for that are going to want to go with the most confident person, the person that appears to have and demonstrates the most drive towards that goal. So it's like whatever you're pursuing, anybody that's in a position to line you up with that is going to be looking for the person that most matches that drive. They're like, we need somebody to be doing this. And I'm not even saying like, trying to get hired. It's like, just in general, because even if like you're going to be on the same level.
Character, like you have an idea of something in your mind, you're like, that guy fits the picture.
Yeah,
we'll fucking go with that guy.
And you start min-maxing towards it. Yeah, that's the thing. But you can't min-max life ultimately.
Yeah, well, you can.
No, you can't. It's not a game.
What do you mean by min-max?
I mean, it's like I understand.
Well, I mean, like,
min-max is like, so just to quickly clarify that, like in a game is like you're saying, you want your character to achieve like specific attributes or whatever. So you figure out what is the minimum you can invest into that to get the maximum outcome. And you know what I'm saying?
I feel that. Yeah,
the minimum amount of experience points you have to allocate to it to get the most benefit without going over where you're like, you didn't need to put those extra points in there. You already have like the max benefit.
I'm playing Fallout 4 right now.
You can't min-max life?
Not to the same degree is what I'm saying. You can optimize and you can try and streamline and try and line yourself up for those things, but ultimately life is going to throw things at you that you can't prepare for is what I'm saying. There's no like one playbook that's going to work.
Yeah,
there's a bunch of playbooks.
I do agree with that.
Can work,
there's no playbook that's gonna make it, but there's no reality in this reality where your life is butterflies and unicorns, regardless. And so it's like all you can really do is try to fucking choose a pathway that works for you.
Let me put it this way: all you can do. You can't min-max, but you can minimize suffering and maximize happiness. All right, that's the only min-max, and then I think.
And the only way to do that is to maximize happiness for other people, because you're not gonna be happy if you ain't doing shit for nobody else. No selfish person is a happy person. No selfish person is a happy person.
It's true.
They're always focused about what can I get, how can I be fucking, how can I make myself happy. That's not where it comes from, dude.
Well, it's not even.
I think most successful people, like billionaires nowadays, are very selfish people.
Yeah, but do you think they're really happy? I don't think so. I think they're fucking hell bent.
No, of course they're not happy.
I think they're not
as happy as I am. I'll tell you that. Fucking.
No, let me tell you. Well,
I don't know.
The pursuit of money.
You could give me a fucking 4 multi-million-dollar homes, all the strippers that life could buy, but there's no realness in that.
Exactly.
Like what I'm doing right now, and the friends, the people that I have, this is as real as I could possibly fucking imagine it. I have the best friends I could imagine. I have a job where I get out of it exactly what I put into it. I have fucking just real connections that you cannot get when you're in that level.
Right. But for someone who doesn't have that and is like, I need to maximize what I can out of life, and I don't have all of that
like materialism
in general.
Just like I need a couch, or like I need a fucking I need a house. I need 3 drum
Exactly.
sets.
Yeah, but that's it's misplaced, is what I'm saying. So
yeah.
like what
It's
you guys
better
are
to
digging
seek that
towards.
in connection with other people.
Exactly.
And just building a real fucking beautiful life. It's and at the end of your life, it's not about what you bought. It's about what you did and who you met and the lessons you've learned. You know, it's
Materialism only ever fills the hole that you're not getting emotionally.
Yeah,
You're pursuing
yeah.
the material because you have a missing piece of you. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You're missing something, and so you keep trying to fill it with anything
my
and everything.
Lamborghini is
you know?
going to make up for the fact
Exactly.
that my dad was an
So
asshole.
the people in most
Or whatever.
pain who don't have a support system like you were just saying, or like the satisfaction in their relationships, would be the person
who becomes a billionaire
who becomes a billionaire because they are
and takes advantage of other people and
Right.
shits on other people all the time because they're
Right.
missing a vital essence in life that
Yeah.
gives you satisfaction.
But that's what
Correct.
we as a society look at as like the most successful people. The most successful people as a society would
Are
probably
some of
be
the
the
sickest.
most the most suffering.
we're a
Well,
That's why.
suffering. I don't like to
Ours-
frame it as
dude.
suffering. Time out, because I don't like to frame it as suffering because it's like that implies sympathy. Whereas
they're
they
human.
have
I feel-
no,
yeah,
no. They deserve sympathy, but when the amount of suffering they are going through is dwarfed by the suffering they have now inflicted
on
on
other
others, you know what I'm saying? I still feel bad for you in the Jesusian sense, where it's like, of course you deserve sympathy, but you have turned around and inflicted it tenfold on other people.
Right, we're all in this together, and most people didn't do that.
Doesn't
You know what
that
I'm
like
saying?
bring to mind the image of like a demon, right? It's like, oh, I fucking suffered, so I need to make other people suffer so I can feel a little bit better, or like I can
That's what I'm
gain
saying.
something out
It,
of
it
this.
appears to be like that, but it's not that nefarious.
Well, it's not like they're
Exactly.
thinking of it like that.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Well, and
but-
I think that's how we come up with fictional stories, because reality is so crazy that we have to understand it through an analogy or a parable, and that's why
our
we
entire
like dragons.
yeah, our
You know what I'm
entire
saying?
our entire history existence is based around that.
Yeah.
Ideas. It's just like it's easier to tell a story of King Arthur than it
Holy
is
shit.
to fucking like show you a politician.
Well, more than anything, the stories are what built us. Like we wouldn't have gained intelligence without stories. It's a hand in hand thing, because the earliest stories were how to make a tool. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The story, what, like, you know what I mean? That's what it was built upon. Where it's like it's teaching. Everything spoken is to teach or to express. You know, so it's like that's really just what it boils down to.
We are going so deep.
Yeah,
on
this is
podcast,
a
dude.
waste
I
of
love
time,
this.
dude.
Yeah, let's see what Ice Spice is doing.
Yeah, dude.
Pull it up, dude. I
So
just
it's a lot of fun.
just got a gaming laptop.
Well done. Have you ever played
way.
Bannerlord
Just
or
barely.
Mountain Blade at all?
No, I haven't
No,
played a
that's fair.
single PC game at all.
Really?
None of them. Never. But I bought it so I could play Starfield, and then I saw all the
Yeah.
fucking reviews, and I was just like, well, and I didn't have the money, so
Yeah.
I bought the goddamn laptop, and then I didn't have enough money to pay $60 for a video game after that. So I was like, oh well, fuck. I guess I'll just wait until they like update it or some shit.
Yeah.
And then now I have absolutely no feelings towards it because I've seen so many videos of people playing it and shit. I'm like, I basically have played the fucking game.
Yeah.
But I do want to play some fucking PC games, dude. Except for I downloaded Fallout 4 on that bitch, and laptops, bro, I don't know if it's mine, but it gets boiling hot. Like
Yeah.
terrifyingly hot. Like you literally touch it and it hurts your fucking fingers hot.
Well,
I'm
so
like-
that's
I'm like,
yeah.
is
so
my
that's
laptop
too hot.
about to melt, dude?
That is
like,
too hot. You
but
should
for
you
Fallout 4, a game that's 10 years old now.
Well, and is the
or not,
performance bad? Is the thing. So it's like when you're running
it
it,
worked great.
so
I
it
had-
runs fine.
I had to troubleshoot so much shit though in order to get it to run good.
Yeah.
Because like originally I was running at like 190 frames per second, and you just walking is like you're just fucking just sprinting through the entire game so fast, and so I had to like down check my GPU, whatever the fuck. And I just ended up deleting it because I was like, I'm not gonna do this. And so I downloaded Fallout 4 on my Xbox, and now I'm like,
That's the way
would
to
you
go.
say Skyrim was the biggest game when it comes to storytelling, role-playing games?
Well,
Skyrim was massive, dude.
Massively popular. It's
and-
hard to draw a single number one because technically, like, as far as like RPGs go, GTA 5 is the biggest one.
For sure.
But it's obviously different enough that it's hard to put them in the same category where you're like,
and that hit later. Well,
yeah,
kind of.
GTA 5 was after the first
like
Skyrim.
A couple years after Skyrim for sure, but yeah, you're right. I wouldn't even like mentally consider GTA to be a role-playing game, but that's exactly what it is.
But technically, yeah, exactly. You know.
Yeah.
So it's
trailer
like
for GTA.
no, the
6
GTA 6
nuts.
looks
the
What do you
graphics
guys
look
think about
crazy.
it?
it looks
dude.
unreal,
Really?
dude.
I thought it looked so similar to GTA 5 in terms of graphics and shit.
No way.
Well, just the way people move. I don't know. I get caught up on the fucking.
When I first saw it-
like I could see the individual strands of hair, but like if they fucking turn their head, like
No, of
in a
course.
weird
When
way.
I first saw
Well,
it,
of
I thought
course.
it was like a people. I thought it was like a
no
like
way.
a-
I'll be
legit
honest. When I
trailer.
first that the clip of the chick on top of the car, that popped up on Twitter, and it's like a 2-second clip, and I just scrolled past it, had no idea. It just was like, oh wow, Florida's nuts.
like, oh, that's Cleveland.
I was
Yeah,
like, oh,
right.
that's, you know what I mean? I was like, oh, that's sick. You know what I'm saying? But then when I watched the trailer, I was like, God damn it, am I a boomer?
Yeah.
I was like,
I was like, holy shit,
I
those
got
graphics
tricked.
are crazy.
I was like, yeah, I was like,
We
that's
are boomers.
insane.
That's a funny thing too is that shit is moving so fast in the age of information that like
Yeah.
we are literally a full generation removed from what our generation should be with what kids are fucking experiencing right now or like watching. Like I don't know.
No,
Does
no,
that make
absolutely.
sense?
The progress is nuts. Yeah, like you're saying,
It just happens
for
faster.
for our parents' generation, what they would have associated with, you know, from when they were kids to when they were our age is not the same as from when we were, you know, kids to
Dude,
this age.
I learned how to read by playing Pokemon on my Game Boy Advance. I'd literally be in a long car drive with my parents, and I'd be like, Mom, what does PLAY mean? She says, play. I'm like, oh, I know that word. Fucking learn that one. And
Learn
then
that one.
Go and then just fucking go through. My mom will attest to this. I literally learned how to read from Pokemon, and after that, and I think honestly, it's kind of a genius way to teach somebody how to do something because you're so invested in a game as a kid. You're
Right.
like, I need to know what these words mean, and that you learn that shit so fucking fast, dude.
Yeah.
Immediately became a fucking bookworm, dude. I'd be at daycare in the closet just fucking reading books.
Hell yeah.
Just fucking yeah, funny
That's
shit.
awesome.
No, that
Funny
is
shit,
sweet.
dude. That's why I'm the smartest person you guys know, dude.
Yes, sir.
True. True. Big book guy.
I learned how to read
Big
from
book guy.
Pokemon. That's
Yeah.
precisely why I'm a clever man.
Yeah. No, but I think it's sick because I saw you know, not to bring it back to GTA 6, but I am excited. But like I saw like
Yeah,
the
who's
map
not?
exactly. I saw the map for it, and I mean I think you know, it's at least like double the size of the last one, which is nuts. Okay.
That's great.
And it has like a lot more like city points. You know, I think the biggest thing that everyone's so hyped about is because it's been so long. A lot of us that are now, you know, late 20s, when GTA 5 came out and we formed all those memories, we were of that young teenage, you know,
100%.
where it was like, this is the sickest thing. You
Oh,
know?
I was
GTA 5
13
was
when
huge.
GTA 5 came out.
No. We were.
You might have been. I think I was. I don't know, man.
If it was 10 years ago,
Yeah,
No,
don't-
I think it was 12
less.
years ago. Wasn't it? I thought it was 2011. I could be
Let's
dead
see.
wrong. You know, who knows?
that's crazy.
But a long time ago, at least 10. You know,
yeah.
so, or maybe it'll be
That
12.
was
Like
2013, exactly 10 years ago.
fucking fire, dude.
Yeah, so we were 15.
Yeah.
You were 16.
I was thinking 12 because it comes out
17.
2025, so 2 years. You
shit.
know, that's
I'm 25. Thought I was 23 there for a second.
how scary is that? No, but yeah. So I just think it's gonna be cool. I just like those types of games. Rockstar hasn't disappointed in a long time. You know, with
Right.
Red Dead and then GTA 5 having kept pumping that for so long.
How
like,
fucking good was Red Dead Redemption 2, dude?
do you want to know?
Oh.
Truthfully,
Haven't played it.
I
You
didn't
didn't like
play it
it?
either.
Wow.
All I ever heard
man.
was amazing things about it, though. You know.
Wow, incredible game, dude. And here I am. I'm playing Fallout 4 for the first time, really, and I'm just.
I mean, that
struck.
one's
I'm
old.
awestruck.
Never
playing
played it either.
It's fun. Any of the Fallout games, they're kind of the same game over and over, but in different places, and the lore is
because
similar.
they time it different from when the war was. So each one kind of takes place.
So basically, the idea is like the beginning cutscene is you are like a person. You sign a page that says, "Oh yeah, I would like to dwell in the vault if nukes ever hit." And then the second you sign the paper, all of a sudden sirens are like, "Oh, get the fuck in the bunker!" And then Fallout 4, they freeze you for 200 years.
Yeah.
And then you wake up, everybody else is dead in the vault, and then you go out into a nuclear wasteland.
Mm-hmm.
And that's pretty much a similar theme for most of the other Fallouts. Is you were in a vault, and now everything that you used to know is all a wasteland.
Oh, that's
and
nuts.
you're trying to live. Oh, it's so fucking good. Dude.
It's so cool. And one of the things
dude.
one of the lore things that I think has always been the most cool about Fallout is that because there's supposedly hundreds of vaults, right? And each one, so like secretly what this company that built all the vaults.
Oh, this is a huge spoiler for him though. Dude.
No, it's
Do you
not.
want to play Fallout? That's
Probably not.
No.
I went to play a game. I was playing Fortnite and my right RB broke.
Oh, did you buy a new one? I seen that.
B-Rob, I went over to B-Rob's house telling him this story, and he gave me a controller. So
Dude, what a homie.
Damn, that's crazy.
That's sick.
yeah, my
as fuck,
RB
dude.
broke, so I was like, "Fuck gaming right now." And then
Yeah.
he was like, "Well, here you go," and I was like, "No
Oh
way,
man, dude, play
is clutch.
these RPG games are really fucking cool because like when you miss out on a lot of what games were meant to be when you're playing multiplayer every single fucking time.
True.
It's like, oh, can I be number one? Can I be number one out of whatever the fuck? Fucking.
Yeah, Call of Duty's fun, but it can't be the only thing you play.
Dude, no, there's
I've
books. There's literally books worth of.
I've always
fictional
been like
stories to
against
experience,
campaigns. I
dude.
was like, that's stupid, but I've never thought of them as like a story. You know what I'm saying?
That's
and then
what it
when
It's so
what was it that Last of Us came out?
Oh,
Did you
yeah.
play it?
No, but that was the first time I'd ever
Play.
heard of a video game
People being like the story's
the story's great, and
Play
I
The
was like,
Last
oh,
of
that
Us,
it was
bro.
it was a weird perspective. I was like, that's a good
Play The
reason to
Last of
play.
Us. Well,
video
I was
games.
I was
sure.
super mad that they made a TV show because I was like, nobody was gay in The Last of Us. I was like, what the fuck? Of course they work
That
it into
was one of
this
the best
one.
episodes, dude.
Right. Yeah, I bet it was. But
It
I was just
definitely
like,
was.
I was just like, what do you mean? Like this had no
Right.
context with the actual game. But dude, fucking phenomenal game. Like, yeah, did you play?
I never played either, to be honest. I know.
It's
I know.
It's not a really long playthrough.
But
like,
let
it's-
me tell you, like,
Fallout's
because
way longer than than that shit is.
well, it
'cause
also
it's
has more freedom. So that
that's
that
a
is
whole
the thing.
different thing. Yeah.
Because for me, like, I've never been a big purely story mode guy. Because like I don't like the games where it basically is you walking through a movie and you get to tap X a little bit sometimes.
That's how I.
It's kind of like
pictured them.
it's like God
It's
of War
terrifying.
Ragnarok.
It's
like
so hard.
It's
but
so
it's
boring
good.
to me personally. You know what I'm saying? Because like I
Dude,
like a little bit of
trust.
competitiveness. I like to be
Trust,
like
bro.
fighting. You know, if I'm playing
The
games.
Last of Us was groundbreaking when that shit came out.
No, for
and it's
sure, and I'm
still
not
so
talking down
fucking
on
good. Yeah. But what I'm saying is it's like you're saying, it is kind of like watching a movie, but it's difficult too. So like when you're in a fucking scary situation, you're actually scared because of
Right.
the context of this story. Like,
Right.
And you
holy
do get
fuck.
some input.
and then you die, and you're just like, oh, and then you play it again, you're like, oh, whatever. But
Right.
the first moment you fucking see some of these fucking zombies in that shit. Oh my god, one of the best games ever made, dude. So good. And that's why they probably had so much controversy of people even deciding to make a game about it, because so many people play that and they're like, this is it when it comes to story mode games, dude.
Yeah,
That's what I've
It's
heard.
so fucking good. And then Utah's in it. Fucking shout
know.
out, dude. I love anytime.
Dude,
Not
I know.
anymore,
I can't
though.
help it.
I do not want any more people moving here, bro. Stay the
No.
fuck out of my home,
It's
dude.
gonna be huge.
Oh,
This place
this
we're
is the
building
next
like
LA.
5 new
It's so
theaters.
fucked, dude.
putting 2.3 billion into
It's
the point of
sad,
the mountain, 100 million into the neighborhood around the ballpark.
It's very exciting though.
It's super exciting.
I mean,
Exciting
because
times. Well, I mean,
we're
in
gonna
general.
we're gonna get the 34 Olympics.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's crazy.
Because like the American Olympic Committee nominated us, so it's like we're putting in the bid for 2034, and our bid is Salt Lake City, and like for the 2034, I'm pretty sure America's basically like on deck. You know what I'm saying? Where it's like we're probably gonna
We're
get
at.
that Olympics, so we're almost very solid percentage gonna get the Olympics in 34. They just haven't made the official announcement. So a lot of these projects will be just coming into their own at that point. You think of the big Draper Point of the mountain where the prison used to be. By 10 years out, yes, it's going to be very established.
In 5 years, it'll be done.
Fully done in 5 is what they're shooting for. Fair enough.
Stadium?
Fair enough. I thought it was going to take a little longer than that, but
the city. Oh man, I
thought they were shooting more like end of the decade. But like, dude,
I mean, it's gonna be expensive as fuck to live there.
Probably, definitely. Just because it's the new spot.
The new spot, and you don't gotta pay for a car or gas. Like they're saving you that.
I'm gonna be long gone from here by the time that's up, dude. I do not fuck
3
with
years?
anything the World Economic Forum is pushing, bro.
I get it, but I still think that's such a pussy stance. You know what I'm saying?
Why, dude?
No, because it's
participate in a fucking blatantly corrupt society where they're trying to take away any source of freedom that you
realize
have
that's
over
just
your
the whole
own
thing.
life?
Yeah, but it's like it's
You'll
silly.
still
it's
have
silly
your
to
house
think,
and your car.
No. Time out, because the thing is, we're already in the middle of that.
I could pray, dude.
Dude, that's already the world we live in. It's like we already lost that war. To even pretend that we are not already in the middle of it and a 15-minute city is like the next step, like sure, but like we're already in the middle of it. There's already no escape. So it's like you can
have fun with it, bro. Like I'm gonna be living as far the fuck away from anything as I possibly can.
That'd be awesome.
It will be nice to grow a family and be like, oh, there's no propaganda, like that's
other than what
unthinkable. Like even in our current society with all these phones, all the fucking bullshit we see in the news, like if I can just raise a fucking family and just be like 1 + 1 = 2.
No, absolutely. No, I'm fully on board with that.
Dudes are dudes, girls are girls. It's a lot of crazy opinions floating out there, but hey, in this little homestead cult that I've built, reality is still functioning.
No, I hear you on that.
As for the last thousands of years, I have a hard time. I'd call me a boomer, dude. I have a hard time fucking assimilating myself into these systems. Like the idea of my car turning off if I fucking turn a little too hard blows my fucking mind. Who's making these fucking decisions? The AI? You telling me to fucking bend over to a fucking algorithm, dude? The algorithm does nothing but fuck people.
But it's all the tech. But that's the thing. It's just all the tech bros. That was actually bringing it back to Stavi's special. I really enjoyed that bit.
Dude, Stavi.
I mean, he really does skewer a lot of things in there. I didn't really like the airport story. I'll be honest. That was the one for me where.
Really? I was laughing so hard.
The only reason I wasn't a huge fan of it is just because. It was just like him being the berater, but like for kind of like too long, and like it just didn't feel justified enough. It was like
you've never screamed at someone.
No, and I hate those. I hate those videos, and everybody hates those videos.
Yeah,
you know
for
what I'm saying?
But I'll tell you one thing. That's one place I despise more than anywhere else is the airport. I fucking.
Have you ever been in a
airports.
business and just been fed up and just lost it?
Yeah. Yes, I'm actually one person you can ask. Most of the homies where I will like fucking make a scene.
I've done it before
fast.
too, and that's why I was like, it was hilarious.
I will very fast make a scene,
everyone's
dude.
felt that way before, and once you get to your point, it's like, ah!
No, and I understand that. I just felt like there wasn't.
And it wasn't too much. It was.
No, I'm just saying there wasn't anything there. I was just like, it was just like a story of him yelling at them, and being like, I know I'm in the wrong, but you know what I mean. But I would just and it's just like. It doesn't tickle my funny bone the same way.
Well,
like when I see those videos, I know some people, they see the video of the freak out and the meltdown and they're like, Jesus Christ, that's hilarious. Like that lady's melting down.
You've never seen someone get angry and thought it was funny.
No, it annoys me more than it makes me laugh, if that makes sense. So it's like
new
I
world
understand
order
the humor.
mindset. Everybody must conform. No complaints can be filed. Everybody just be regular like I am. We're all walking through the airport.
I love seeing people get fed up and frustrated and flustered.
No, I agree. And I agree.
Especially if they're justified, dude. Seeing righteous
I
justice,
think it's
dude.
funnier seeing someone flustered in an unjustified situation.
For no reason. I agree.
It's hilarious.
It's more funny for sure.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I like the justice idea, though, of like somebody just being like, yo, this is fucked up for everybody behind me, and then 1,000 people are just like, I'm too much of a coward though to say anything, but I'm gonna watch this person fucking
because
put it out on the line for us.
But that's not putting it out on the line for us, screaming at a minimum wage employee, where like the end result. But that's the point I'm making.
Yeah.
That's the point I'm making. Yeah, absolutely. Stand up for what's wrong. Yelling at someone else, getting shit on. Oh, you solved the problem.
And they're getting paid minimum wage.
You solved the problem.
Well, and
that doesn't solve anything.
No, it wasn't supposed to solve anything.
The people that are getting yelled at,
you know what I'm saying?
Have
it's not funny for the person getting yelled at.
No,
right.
If they didn't do anything wrong,
of
and
course.
your flight got canceled, and they're sorry about it, but there's nothing available, and you're just screaming at them.
Yeah,
that's pretty funny. That's pretty funny.
Well, it's not. I mean, what it comes down to is it's not their fucking. You're screaming at the wrong person. But it's like,
but that's what I'm getting at.
For sure. I don't know
misdirected.
the
right.
context of the joke. I didn't see it yet.
Well, just in general, I'm just saying it's misdirected. I am that rage and that righteous justice. Oh, please do. But mail the package to the right person is all I'm saying.
I agree.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're right.
Like, make sure you have the right address is all I'm saying.
You're right.
And then absolutely do what you got to do.
For
you know?
sure.
Yeah, but the thing is, with our society the way it is, like, who are you gonna talk to either? You know, it's all you can really do is just be like, this is fucking bullshit. What do you mean I have to pay a 50% surcharge for, like, I'll use fucking SeatGeek for example. Like,
yeah.
And then you're just yelling at some Indian dude, and he's just like,
he's like, what do you want me to do?
like, this is our policy.
He's like, I'm more fucked than you are, dude.
Yeah, far more.
He's like, you're making more than me, dude.
Obviously, I come to that conclusion, and that's why I don't really fucking do it. But when it comes down to like I went to Comcast to cancel my fucking internet service. First thing I told the dude, I was like, dude, I know you're just working here, but I despise your company.
Yeah.
I want nothing to do with you anymore at all. How do I cancel everything that I have? Can you please give me a straight answer? He goes, oh, yeah, man. Have you seen our deals that we can give you for something new? Like, we can give you great fucking phone. We can give you phone services now. We're really making steps up. I was just like, dude, how do you get the nerve to try to sell me after the only thing that I've told you is that I want to fucking have nothing to do with your company ever again? I understand it's their job too.
Same place. It's the same situation though.
It's their job, right? It's their job to upsell me too, but it's just so fucking infuriating to have somebody just be like, oh, so everything you just said, I don't care because I don't care about you either. I'm just trying to take your money for this company that I know you hate. Like, yeah, bro, that shit gets me tough. So yeah, I was there. I went to Comcast with James, dude, and he'll tell you I fucking snapped, dude. I was walking out the door. I was like, fuck this company, fuck all the people in here, do not fucking do any of this. And all the customers were looking at me, and I was just like, peace.
And was that after you canceled everything?
Finally got it all canceled, and they had the nerve to fucking call me and be like, you didn't actually cancel your shit. I was like, fuck you, I canceled that shit. And they're like, actually, you're right, our system says it was canceled.
Yeah.
It's like, bro,
they're one of the textbook worst though.
Exactly.
Comcast, Dish Network, these are the ones, dude.
You ever
these
tried to
those
get
guys.
a car key out of state because you lost yours?
Oh man, dude, I can only fucking imagine, dude.
Yeah.
They were just fee after fee after fee, and I was like, how the fuck is this
dealing
legal?
with the car dealership is unbelievable.
I was like,
you'll pay $1,000 for a car key.
Can't move it. I don't have a key, and they could charge whatever they want.
They have
just take advantage of you
to get
this
that
goes
key.
back to the billionaires thing we were talking
I don't
about.
care
Selfish
who
billionaires.
the hell was working that job. They got it that day.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
No, absolutely.
And I will say it is funny to hear a story like
No,
that.
yeah.
I lost it on
it's
them.
just some
and it's
fucking
like, in the moment,
it's just-
of course, it's that person didn't deserve it.
Right.
But it's just
But thinking back
No,
on
it feels
it's
and
like,
and I get because it feels
it's just
good,
some
right? 'Cause
Filipino guy just like, Mr. David.
Mr. Davis.
I'm sorry.
I swear.
I'm like, dude,
This
you have
was-
everything in your fucking pocket right now. Unlock my door. No.
He's like, well, I can bring out my tool in my pocket, but that is an extra $50.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I feel
Mr.
like
David, calm
did you it was your car, right? It wasn't a rental or
This
anything?
is my car.
Because I mean, what I would have, and you had your driver's license on you? Because it's like at
Call
that
a locksmith?
Well, my key got eaten by the ocean. I put it on the beach and the
Oh,
tide
it was like
came out.
electric, huh?
Oh.
and you needed a chip. It has that chip in it, so it was like extra $300 fee.
Dude. Yeah.
That's why I don't, dude. Stay away from.
And I was losing it, dude.
Yeah,
I was
only
with Chandler, Tanner, None, and Court, and they were like, Dave, chill, don't talk to him that way. I was like, fuck you, AAA.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I get it.
Dude, I will say last time I had AAA come out to help me, my I was backing out of a spot in a gas station, and my gear shift just completely went out. So I'm like trying to shift gears, and it's not going into anything. Like it's just floating. You lift it up and it falls. This guy comes out and he's like, so what's the problem? I was like, dude, my car will not go into gear. He gets into my car, fucking lifts the gear shift up and lets it go and just dunk, slams down. He's like, I have never seen this before. But this fucking guy he's like, well, all right. He just gets underneath my car and he starts looking around. And he's like, try it again. She's like, shift all the gears, start working again. I'm like, what the fuck did you do? He's like, oh, bro, this little thing just changed. We're not going to charge you a fee me even coming out here. It's a real simple fix.
Whoa.
But he told me, he's like, I've never seen this before. Gets under my car, fixes the problem.
Knows exactly what
and
it
then
is.
goes, you're good, bro. Don't worry about it. I was like, AAA customer for life, dude. If I could get that fucking guy's phone number, I would be like, bro, hey, I got a fucking problem.
You're like, this is my car.
Like, have you tried fucking turning on the windshield wipers? I don't know. Dude, I was so fucking jazzed.
I love when that happens.
Yeah.
See, that's like, exactly.
That's the exact
Everybody loves
opposite
that.
of what
no,
we're
it's
talking
the prime.
about.
Exactly. No, that's what I'm. No, I agree.
That's
with
what's
you.
supposed to happen.
No, exactly.
You would hope.
You know?
You would fucking hope.
See, and that's all I'm saying, because it's like, you know,
I
and
understand
sometimes
your point, though,
because sometimes it's like, sometimes what it is it's like
just overblown.
No, of course. Ultimately, who gives a fuck? Yada yada. You know, I'm just saying like the overarching point of like, you know, because you and him had such a good interaction, him going into the next one snowballs, right? He's already going into the next one positive, charged, being like, I'm gonna have another great interaction with this
And
person.
there we go, dude. Jesus
so it's both
is
people,
the Lord.
right?
That's exactly
both
what I'm
people need
trying
to come into a space, you know. If both people can come in positive, you know, which this is just all who gives a fuck. But yeah, it's things that everyone knows on a fundamental level. You know, if you're a prick, people are gonna be a prick to you. It's that full circle.
It's the
you know,
fucking circle, dude. And
manifest
so
a positive interaction. You know,
and that's what, like, just the idea of any of these religions was all just scratching at. It's just like, be nice if you can, and see what.
And
happens.
it's so hard for people to just do that. They have to create these crazy stories.
Yeah.
well, history moves from like something happens and then it becomes history, then it becomes myth, and then it moves into theology. You know what I'm saying? So it's like an old enough story where the facts can no longer be verified and the claims can no longer be discounted. Of course, that sounds like some fantastical shit.
Yeah.
You know, the fish,
You just have to believe it.
The fish gets bigger every time you tell the story, right? And imagine 2,000 years of that story. That fish is huge.
You ever
That's a
seen
whale,
Big
and it
Fish?
ate Jonah. You know what I mean?
Never seen Big Fish, huh?
Like a movie called Big Fish? I don't think so.
With Ewan McGregor. It's kind of about
Is it like
that
a cartoon?
exact thing, no.
It's like Ewan McGregor hunting, like fishing on
No,
a
his
boat.
dad has just always told him these crazy stories, and he never believed him because he was like,
Dude,
"You're a liar."
I saw that
Right.
when I was
And
real
they had
young.
they had a really bad relationship, and then he passes it, and everyone.
Corroborates his old story.
No, just everyone from these stories show up, and he sees everyone. And it's like, holy shit.
That's
it's all
cool,
true.
dude. That is
pretty cool.
man.
That
I
sounds like
gotta
a
watch
good movie.
that.
Yeah.
I will say though, we're certainly at an hour, and I got to get the fuck out of here. So.
Yeah, thank you all for coming.
Thanks for stopping by, boys.
Thank you
ladies.
for the ethereal conversations,
Mhm.
or well, thank you for participating and listening to them.
Yeah,
and
thanks
yes,
for coming
we are
along.
we are all your best friends. So subscribe and
Burn your house down.
burn it.
Gathered up a whole bunch of people to go fight this other king, see? And so the Belknaps, his ancestors, they joined him and went to war with some king. I don't know who it was they went to war with, but anyway, they lost. And when they lost, they went and made slaves out of all the soldiers and their families, took all their livestock and stuff and put them on their farms and made them do all their farming and stuff, and they just fed them like slaves.
And what country is this? Is this
England? It was in England. It was in England.
Wow.
At one time in England, way back probably 13th century. Because way back in that time, like the Burrells too, the Burrells, that goes clear back, maybe further than the 13th century, and they only had one name. They only called people by one name.
Right.
You didn't have a double name.
Right.
And then that came in later to give people double names. And so we go clear back. I know we go back into the Burrells, and the Burrells at one time, their name was Brill. And they called this collar, this special nice furry collar that they would put on their coats. They called it Brill. They called that collar a Brill. And after a while, they changed that name to Burrell.
And so they would put these collars on the rough, like,
yes,
coats.
On their tweed, on that real rough tweed coats, and they call it tweed, and it's real rough, like burlap. You imagine wearing a burlap collar on your clothes.
Yeah.
You know what a burlap sack. You know how rough they are.
Yeah.
And that's what they were always like. And their coats and everything was heavy winter coats. And that's the only kind of collar they had until this guy decided to start building these other collars, nice, furry, warm collars to put on their coats. And they called it Brill. They called it a Brill collar. And then they changed the name to Burrell later, but that's still when they only had one name. They didn't have double names.
So our ancestors basically were coat makers.
Anyway, he just made that collar. He just invented the collar for the coats. Yeah, right. And then it turned in. From then on, it just kept going. Yeah.
So we're kind of like the Versace family in a way.
Yeah.
Because they made clothes.
Oh, did they? Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, what part of England did your mother come out of?
We had a lot of Wales, and oh man, there was so much information that I don't have right now.
Some of them come out of Wales too.
Yes, yeah, Wales. But majority of my bloodline came from Denmark, I discovered.
Oh, that's Sweden. Yeah.
Yeah, Sweden and Denmark, yeah.
Yeah, see, that'd be Denmark and Sweden, yeah. So they come out of there a lot more than they come out of England then. So they might have been in England by the time they traveled and when they had gone on a boat and come to America. Yeah.
It was one of the most fascinating things I've ever done, going to that building.
Yeah, it gets fascinating, all right, because when I first came to Boise here, man, I used to go down there and go through an awful lot of stuff in the library-like thing here in Boise. And I did that for quite a while, and I found out a lot of stuff. And
the cool thing about this place is that any family member can come and add stuff to it. So literally every year you can go further back because somebody in your family came in with more information.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's done. See, the LDS Church does that real heavy too.
That's what it is. That's all through the LDS Church.
Oh, it is. You're going through the LDS Church part. Yeah. Yeah, right. Yeah, and they cover it really deep.
You can say what you want about the LDS folks, but they keep good records.
Yeah, and that's about the only thing I see that is good and steady and trustworthy with them. And I do like.
I agree with that.
Yeah, because I've known too many of all the religions. I'm working on studying this Jehovah Witness now with Gina, and this is about the seventh one I've been studied before, and I look into it, and I've been around a lot of them, and I'll tell you, it's amazing the difference. But what gets me is in the LDS Church, I never seen so many people that were really bad people.
Oh, wow.
And I mean bad people and kill their neighbors and stuff like that even. And I've been around that stuff. And then lying and stealing, it is just terrible the way they will lie and steal on the farms and on irrigation water and stuff like this. And I worked on a farm in there when I lived in Shelley out at Taylor. I run that Taylor farm, Ward Farm, for 4 years. And you want to see the stuff I found out there. And man, and people that live there, and the bishops and the other big leaders in that ward, man, I never saw such a lying, crooked bunch of people in my life. And
Wow.
I was glad to finally get out of there because all of a sudden the government made the church fold all that stuff up and do away with it.
Wow.
The only place I know where there's a lot of that still going on is in Utah, and most of it's in massive orchards that they have in Utah.
Oh, like up in Logan?
Yes, there and scattered all over other places. There's massive and a lot of different kinds of big orchards and stuff. The LDS Church run all, and then you ought to see how much land that the LDS Church owns in Florida.
Oh, yeah, they've been buying a lot everywhere.
Well, way back in early times, way long time back, they were buying all this land and owned so much land in Florida too.
They've been doing this a long time.
Yeah,
Wow,
but-
that's
yeah.
fascinating. I didn't know they've been doing it for so long. All I know is that right now they're really growing balls to the walls with it. They're buying up so much farmland right now.
Yeah, is the LDS Church doing that too?
Yeah, that's what they're doing right now.
Yeah, well, there's other countries coming in here buying farmland like crazy too.
Yeah, I know China's big into it right now.
Yeah, and more. And then besides, what they like to do, the only damn thing they want that land for is it's their land and they ain't going to plant nothing on it this year. They're just going to take it away. So we have to do without and lean on them and buy from them. See, that's the thing that's going on in China. And look how much stuff comes from China in the first place.
Everything?
Almost everything. Yeah, you bet. But China wants it all. But I'll tell you something else I found out about China. China is losing people by the millions every month. Every month, the people are leaving China and getting out of there. And they're going into other countries. And there are plenty of them coming here too. But China's got plenty of people that's sick and tired of the way it's run. And they're going into other countries because they've got so many relations been on in these other countries for so long, and they see it so much better. And I'll tell you, China is starting to dwindle down.
I'm not
Man,
surprised. I heard they're having problems with their kids too. They're not reproducing fast.
Well, no. Well, what happened? They went and cut it down and wouldn't let them have babies for years and years, and then they turned around and decided to let it go and come back. Well, that ain't working so good. All of a sudden, we got too many babies. And and the family can't, no way to feed them and raise them.
Yeah.
Because their wages are so low. Just like Vietnam now, right now. Lynn just now got to Vietnam and got home over there. Well, they just went out to eat dinner. There's a nice cafe right there by her house. So every morning they go over there to eat breakfast. Well, you can go over there and eat breakfast now for $6 to $10, where uptown here you're looking at $20 for a big breakfast.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, and it's still low like that in Vietnam. And wages there, they're doing luckier than hell if they make $1.50 a day. Can you imagine that? And here, Lynn's got cousins here. Nephews. This one works at Micron. He makes $61 an hour working at Micron. Is what he makes, and it's one of her nephews.
Wow.
And all of them get in the nail business, and I know 3 of them now is retired out of the nail business at $4 million a piece in the bank.
Wow, I didn't know that doing people's nails could make you that much money.
Oh man, you ain't a kidding. The thing of it is, they're sitting there making anywhere from to about. Let me think. I gotta get this right. They're making $9 and $10 an hour, and anyhow, the thing that's really big about them and what they're charging in there, that the tips when they leave, they tip them almost as much as they charge. So these guys are sitting there. These guys are sitting there bringing home, you know, $40 a day with the tips. And if you work there, see, that's what some of I'm doing nails only, and it's not if they're putting up hair. You go to the beauty parlor. Does your mother ever go to the beauty parlor much?
Say that again?
I say, does your mother go to the beauty parlor much?
Yeah, she does. She does. She just changed from where she was going because I kind of got a little bit swindled from cleaning the place she was going to.
Oh yeah. Well, did you ask her how much she pays to get her hair done?
No, I haven't thought about that.
It's $70 or $80 or $90. Like hell with it. You know, who cares? Man, look, I look beautiful. So just whatever. That's the way it is in a beauty salon. Beauty salons charge a lot too, and then the women walk out of there throwing $20 and $40 on the table as a tip, besides a $90 hairdo.
Yeah,
that's the way beauty salons are.
Well, how is that any different from the rest of history? Women always been spending money like crazy.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Yeah, you're right there. but you know that's. But it's something else, I'll tell you. It just, man, and you know what? When I first knew Lynn, these kids that's retiring now with all these millions, they were little teeny kids not even in school yet. And I know every one of them since they were little kids and they weren't even in school yet. And they did it through the nail business.
Well, I wish I was Vietnamese.
Well, you ought to get into the nail business. You could get rich.
Maybe that's what I'll do. Instead of cleaning people's carpets, I'll clean their nails.
Yeah, and the thing is, I don't know. You might not. The thing of it is, you might not like it because Lynn can't stand it and can't be in there. And Rose give up the nail business for the same. It's the smell and the stuff they use in there all the time. You go in there and start smelling all the chemicals and all the stuff in them places. And I know a lot of people. I don't go to them either because I couldn't smell it. That ain't why I do. So.
It smells like burnt hair.
Yeah, you dang right. It smells like worse than that with the chemicals they're using and stuff. And there's so many people will not go for that reason, and a lot of them don't. And you can't. That's why Lynn can't stand to work there. And there's a lot of people can't stand to go in there and work. I see Vietnamese women too that can't handle it, and they don't stay there and work at that. But when they can stand it and it don't bother them, I'll tell you, they get rich.
Wow.
You ain't kidding. That's one of the richest damn things out there. And all these people coming in, and it's not only Vietnamese, it's every nation from over there. You go around and start watching and look at all the new nail salons that pop up all the time. And here they're just popping up like popcorn on a hot stove. And anyway, by darn, I'll tell you, they're every nation. It's hard to say which nation is in there running that nail shop.
Yeah.
But they're sitting here making so much more money than they make at their country when they left that country. They're sitting here making thousands and thousands a month, and their country, they ain't even making $100 a month.
Well, that's real smart on their part.
You ain't kidding. It is, really. And see, all of Lynn's relation, except Lynn, and well, there's one other, and now I know of two others, and she went to college, and now she's selling homes. But anyway, and she's making big money selling homes. She sold a home here. She sold a home what, 2 weeks ago, and she called me and told me that she made $17,000 on that home. So
Wow.
how would you like to get into selling houses? Be easier, maybe, but it took her a while to get into that too.
Wow.
But yeah,
Wow.
you can get into selling houses and buy a great big massive. It was more than a single house that she sold, though. It was some kind of that was involved in something else, and a company buys it. And so the sale on it, though, is higher than hell. And so she made a lot there. Wow, that much in one sale.
Wow. Yeah, that's a ton.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of things out there besides the normal wage out there.
That's one thing I realized when I started cleaning carpets. I would have never thought of that as a life path, but I saw people were willing to pay for it, and that I could do a good job at it. And I was like, well, I might as well do that.
Yeah, you bet. Yeah, you stick with something that works with it, and thing of it is, it'll grow.